Good morning, Sri Lanka. Welcome back to the show on a Tuesday morning. You're here with me, Amaya. And if you missed the first segment, we're speaking to a group of young individuals who will be representing Sri Lanka at Oxford University. That's for the Price Media Law Moot Court competition. Now, if you don't know what mooting is, then you will have to catch the first segment. And to do that, you can log on to YouTube and type in the key letters gmsl, and you can see all the videos of all the shows we've done this season. But coming back to our mooters, is it mooters?
Yes.
I got that right. All right. Yanitra Kumaraguru, Sajid Bandara, Sarani Gunathilaka, and Michael Mendes back on the show. Now, we have here two shields that have been worn by the ladies on this sofa. Yanitra, you want to tell us what these shields represent?
Okay.
It's not blowing your own horn. I asked you. So now you have an excuse. You can tell.
I do. Because Sarani won Best Speaker at the South Asian rounds.
Okay.
So that big one is hers. The second one is for second Best Speaker. Which is hers.
Was won by Anita.
So basically, from like a lot of Indians, lot of people South
Pakistanis and Bangladeshis and Nepalese.
Yes.
Let's not be racist.
So they became like the first two best speakers in the region.
So what was that feeling like? I mean, at that moment when you beat all the other mooters from across the region, it's not just Sri Lanka. And you said how dedicated most of them are to, doing mooting, and they really prepare for it. So out of all those, I mean, it's a great achievement that you came so far.
At that point, I don't think there really was a feeling to begin with.
I think we never ever expected this.
No, we were really happy being...
Somebody predicted top 10
Yeah,
ranking.
somebody predicted
Fair
top
enough.
10 ranking, but top 10 doesn't mean like one.
The somebody incidentally who was pretty much our coach. We didn't have an external coach person for this moot. So
Okay.
it's been Michael who's been the equivalent of a coach while being a team member also. Just to say that.
Shout out to Michael there.
Yeah.
Michael, say something.
No,
To
so
cameras.
actually it was a very, very heartening moment for
Yeah.
us. We've been working
Yeah.
together and we've seen them grow as mooters as well. So when they announced the runners-up, which was Yanitra Kumaraguru, we knew the next person would have to be Sarani Gunathilaka. At least it was a bit of a gut feeling.
Because that is amazing. I mean, like you said, that's 1 and 2, right?
Yeah,
That's
so
just
I mean, like,
where
so
can
it was like
you
Sri
go
Lanka to
for-
come out of
yeah,
nowhere, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was. I mean, since it wasn't us, I think we can talk about this easily. Because it was them, and it was like I think I probably speak for Sajid as well. We were incredibly proud of the two of them when they got the award. It was
And like the moment we heard like Yanitra, it was like, yay, Sarani also got. Like because we knew like the oral round marks and all that. So we were like, wow, she got, and now next thing is Sarani's. And like we were like, wow, like Sri Lankans
and
got. And
incidentally, Sarani also happens to be the best debater from the debating
Yes,
that
reality
too.
show.
I was going to mention
It's a bit of a
that. That's
habit
Michael
for-
stole my thunder there, but that's all right.
I like
It's a habit for her to,
honestly,
be winning
like
these
all the
things.
Indians were like, wow. They were like
They were incredible.
telling how
Can I have a
amazing
minute?
we were.
Yes.
So that's not a habit at all.
I like the way she answered. Like, please, give me a little time on this talk show to talk.
No,
The best speaker.
And you still haven't proven your case. So.
no. So when it comes to like English and mooting, it's basically something like really new for me. So basically MCDS introduced me to English debating and then to mooting. So in mooting, as a mooter, it's Michael who introduced me to the floor. I have to say that. Because like he was the coach for me during the ICRC, and when it comes to prize also, he was the coach for me. So basically I think even when I got this, I told him, okay Michael, it's yours.
It's totally hers. It's totally hers.
You can see that how well you work together, all four of you as a team, and I'm sure that team spirit is also something that really gets you over the tough hurdles.
It definitely helped.
But the toughest one is yet to come now, the international competition. Any idea what it's going to be like and what kind of platform you'll be competing on?
Well, we hope it's going to be better than the Indian rounds. The rumor has it that Indian judges are generally more aggressive. So maybe European judges are not as aggressive, but
And also like last year, the
we hope for
international
the
rounds,
best, but prepare for the worst.
international rounds were won by Indian people. like this Indian team.
Yeah, NASA won the year before, and NLU Delhi won last year. So it's always Indian teams that are superpowers.
I think that's because of the competition they have it in
within
the country
India itself. So
they're very used to aggressive sort of judges.
they have a mooting Premier League. Let me just put that in there.
I mean, they have a Premier League for everything, but
a mooting Premier League. Wow, so maybe that's something you could start up here in Sri Lanka.
Maybe.
don't give us thoughts too.
Pioneer mooting Premier Leaguers. I don't know, I just made that word up, leaguers. I don't think it exists.
I don't think we have a crowd, like a population to...
And the coolest thing is, like in India, if you're a mooter of a significant mooting competition, you get exempted from assignments and you get like 40% credit and stuff.
Crazy.
But then again, I would like to add for that because our faculty has been very helpful.
Oh,
Yeah, they've been extremely
absolutely helpful. Like Dean...
Within the framework which we are working.
And the resources we have, they have been absolutely
Speaking about resources, I mean, what are the resources that you need and what's available and what more do you really need to, take you to the next level?
Lots of books. Lots of
and
books.
Access to a lot of online journals.
I think.
I mean, technology-wise, it's all there, right? Everything is on the internet. I mean, I would think, but is that the case?
Not necessarily. It's sometimes there is a particular authority on a particular issue, and sometimes you just can't access that, and that's probably because of some institutional limitations, some financial limitations, whatever. But those are the things that get in the way.
But then is that like a level playing field for all teams across the world, or there are some who have
some
access to
institutions
that?
have like direct access to these things.
Because it's
Like
not
when we were in NLU, all we had to do was just click on the link and we could access the app.
Anything,
Anything.
And especially it's not just a random reading we had to do. We had to know like specific cases. Authority has to be like specific cases, or you can't just cite someone said this. You have to be like this case said this. Or
And our cases come from the US Supreme Court, the Human Rights Committee, the European Court of Human Rights, the American Court of Human Rights.
I think a lot of cases.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave. All right. No, but the amount of research that you have to do, it sounds like it's a lot. But let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of each of the players and how you sort of balance it all off.
So basically, when it comes to research, Michael research for all of us.
For a lot
So
of
like
us.
he's the
Okay.
person
In
who
terms of
knows
his
all
coaching,
coaching.
Google role that he does.
Okay, to be fair, what I do is I find out a little corner and say, okay, follow this. No,
Yeah.
I'll give you the corner and you have to follow the rest of it.
But
Definition.
finding out that corner is like the hardest part. When you find that corner, you can go somewhere. But when you don't
I like
know
that until the
anything,
last day he find these corners that he's
But
talking
then in terms of weaknesses, you can be headstrong, you can be too bossy sometimes, you cannot be accommodative. Like those things happen to me especially a lot. So
but I
not
think when
always.
it comes
Agree,
to
or is
But
Michael
coming,
being
no,
too harsh on
that was
himself?
exactly what I was going to say. Coming from the team members, I don't think that has been the case. And honestly, I think working with them has been, for me at least, amazing.
no,
like
there are a
extremely
lovely bunch of people. I really do.
He sounds like he
I do. I'm not being sarcastic at all.
and especially when it comes to weaknesses, I guess like every one of us helps each other a lot. Like to be honest, for me, like doing something in English is not like something really usual.
Okay.
So I did Sinhala debating, Sinhala this, Sinhala that. So when it comes to English, so I always had this like language problems sometimes. So like putting the correct word to the correct point.
Just to put it in perspective, Indian mooters are incredibly eloquent. Incredibly eloquent.
Really?
Yes, and yeah.
So but in that case also
And
like
she
these
was best
people.
speaker.
No, but she was best speaker.
No, but
there
this-
you go. That's
I mean,
Can I
with
speak?
all due respect to the Indian mooters, they were incredible, but like,
No, so in that weakness, so I had that weakness. So I had that weakness, but still like these people were like, no, don't worry about that. You can still do this. You still can do this. Trust in you. Okay, it doesn't matter. Do it. You can do it. So I think that is what made me do this. So
to be fair by her, she's a walking encyclopedia. She
that
reads something.
she knows her law
She
inside
understands,
out.
okay, let's not
Inside
go
out.
that far. No, I was just talking about.
But don't you? I mean, law is something. For me, I mean, there are endless amounts of cases
That's
that
the
you
problem.
can
That's
sort
the
of pull up
problem,
as
because-
examples. How do you sort of figure out what's important? What can we discard? What's the process there?
Well,
For that we
That,
normally
of course, I
refer to Michael. Can we use this case? Michael, can we use that case? So he normally has the answer.
And it depends on how advantageous it's for our side and to the other side. Like,
how the facts of that case is similar to our cases, facts, etc. So you do that comparison.
So now you've been doing 3 months of research. Now what do you do besides mooting? And what are the interests that all of you have individually?
So good question.
Incredibly well.
Yeah.
She can sing. I think. I think you should try one.
No. This is
She's one of the best singers you'll ever find.
she's
on
a-
earth.
well, I'm like very like touched and pleased and all that stuff.
No,
you don't
you're
want to
busy. You're
This will be
supposed
the
to
end of my interview. If I ever get asked anymore.
And Sajid is an incredible logistician. Like, every single logistic
That I was
thing
gonna
they have
say,
to do,
actually.
like, Sajid can take care of it. It's probably unfair, but he does it incredibly well. And we just like make a muck of it anyway.
He's
Exactly.
very good at doing this. Sachin. He just buttoned you up into the next century.
And imagine putting up with that for 2 years. Last year price and this year.
No, but
That's
I
a
was.
good thing.
It is. And I was actually going to say, when you asked like strengths and weaknesses wise, that's probably like in terms of organization, Sajid would be like, I don't know, visas, tickets. And you mentioned it, he's brilliant at that.
Really?
Sarani, in addition to her little encyclopedia of law, would also make coffee at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that definitely is.
And that's important as well, right? Food and drink is very
Food and drink, we have come to
we
realize.
have to
is very
mention
important.
Yeah, Yanitra's mother.
She's been cooking for us for like
Oh, wait,
3
I'm guessing that
months now.
3 of you have been camping out at her house.
Yeah.
Last
So like
3 or
a
so
month's time, I think. all
A
the
week's
nights, I
time,
think.
maybe, of staying.
Quite a lot of time. And we had a lot of macaroni, a lot of thosai and stuff like that. It was brilliant.
This is wonderful pasta. We like absolutely love it.
Hi, auntie.
I think it's all our families, right? Even they would like send over like random bits of food.
And I think especially to the moment like we got selected, the first thing we did was like telling her mother, our parents and everyone. It was like,
We've been like putting up with nonsense because we don't have time to, I don't know.
Actually.
But, at the end of the day, this is all for the competition that you're going to be representing Sri Lanka at. So when is this going to happen now? If some of the other teams have not, in other regions, haven't competed yet, when is the competition going to be happening?
April.
Yeah.
April.
Yeah.
the international
beginning
rounds in April, end
First
of
week
March.
April.
Yeah, first week of April.
So this is the same case that you will be mooting, and like you mentioned, Yanitra, during the break, I think so. That's 7 months of preparing for the same case.
Yeah.
Is there any such thing as over preparation, being over prepared?
I don't think so.
Not for a
I
moot,
don't
I
think
don't
Because there's never an
Really,
end.
really intimate.
Yeah.
With the case.
Yeah.
With the case, I meant.
There really is no end to it. Because the more you go, the more problems you find, more case law you find against you.
Yeah, because I remember this certificate. It's just where this case says where this singer he spoke about before. Search for whipping techniques, and we actually typed on Google to see what are whipping techniques.
Wow, I'm glad that you go
He
into
did.
such
And-
in-depth research, Michael.
It turned out to be about horses and stuff like that. So like
Stuff
the most random,
the case was about
unconnected stuff.
domestic abuse and the husband whipping his wife. But so like it became a problem for us to say, okay, can we actually impute an intention to commit domestic abuse when we pick techniques only return things like making baking cakes and whipping horses and stuff like that.
So practically
right.
it made no sense.
I see. So these are, you have to sort of apply these cases and what
In the
really
real life,
turns up on a search engine,
Yeah.
and all that proof has to be
Because
there.
he was
So the-
convicted for it. He was on the search
Accused.
results, accused for on that basis.
So what's the toughest team you've had to face so far?
And
MLS?
we have won
This
anyway.
No, but when it comes